She handed me the gift like it was a loaded gun wrapped in gold foil. The ribbon was crimson, tied in a bow so flawless it looked rehearsed. My older sister, Vanessa, stood there in her champagne-colored dress, lips curved in that familiar half-smile that used to mean, "I've got you," and now only meant, "Watch me." My husband, 6'4", ex-Force Recon Marine, the man who once carried a dying teammate 3 miles through a sandstorm, placed his hand on my wrist before I could reach for it. "Don't," Jack said, voice low enough to rattle bones. Every man at the head table wearing a tux that didn't quite hide the way they moved, his brothers from the teams, stood up at once, silent, synchronized, lethal. Vanessa's smile slipped. Just an inch. Enough. I'd spent 28 years believing she was the sun, and I was lucky to orbit her. Golden child. Homecoming queen. The sister who braided my hair and told me I was special, right before she told everyone else I was delicate. Then I met Jax. Quiet strength, scarred knuckles, eyes that saw everything. When I brought him home, Vanessa hugged him too tight, asked about his deployments like she was collecting ammunition. I laughed it off. Sisters tease. Sisters protect. Jax never laughed. "She's measuring you for a coffin, Riley," he said one night, tracing the worry line between my brows. Mark my words. The first cut was small, a text from a number I didn't know. "He'll get bored of the quiet girl." They always do. The number traced back to a burner registered in my name. Then my credit score tanked overnight. Loans I never took out. Accounts drained. A paper trail with my forged signature at the bottom. All of it pointed to me embezzling from the family trust, the one our parents left equally, the one she'd always said should have been hers alone. I almost broke. Almost believed I was losing my mind. Jax didn't. He sat me down, poured me whiskey, and said, "We're going to war, baby." But quietly. We built the trap together. Private investigator. Cyber forensics guy who owed Jax his life. 2 detectives who'd worked fraud cases with the teams overseas. And the box, her masterpiece. She'd bragged about it for months. A memory box, she called it. Everything you need to remember who you really are before you ruin a good man. I smiled when she mentioned it. Thanked her. Told her I couldn't wait. The night before the wedding, I came home early and heard her on the phone in my kitchen. Planned it at the reception. When they open it in front of everyone, the affair proof, the bank records, the texts from her lover, he'll finally see she's trash. She'll be ruined, and I'll be there to pick up the pieces. Like always. She never saw me in the hallway. Never knew I recorded every word. Back to the reception. The string quartet had gone silent. Phones were out, people sensing blood in the water. One of Jax's guys, call sign Priest, because he never blinked, slit the gold foil with a knife that definitely wasn't for cake. Inside, manila folders labeled in Vanessa's perfect handwriting. Fake hotel receipts time-stamped for nights I was out of town with Jax. Screenshots of texts from a number she'd spoofed to look like mine, filthy, desperate messages to a married colleague. A flash drive. A handwritten letter addressed to Jax, dripping with concern. "You deserve the truth about who you married." Vanessa's face went the color of old ash. I stepped forward, heels clicking like a countdown. "You always said I was too trusting," I said softly, just for her. "Turns out you were right. I trusted you'd bring the knife yourself." Her mouth opened. Nothing came out. Jax lifted the top folder, held it high so the room could see my forged signature, then flipped to the next page, the report proving every document had been created on Vanessa's laptop. Time-stamped, IP-logged, gift-wrapped with a bow of her own arrogance. "Lawyers outside," he said conversationally. "Detectives too. You're going to have a lot of time to work on that smile in an interview room." She lunged for the table, frantic, but 2 of Jax's guys already had her elbows, gentle, professional, unbreakable. The last thing she saw before they walked her out was me picking up the crimson ribbon, letting it slip through my fingers like blood. Later, when the venue emptied and the moon hung low over the water, Jax found me on the balcony. "You okay?" he asked. I thought about it. Really thought. "I'm not okay," I said. "I'm better than okay. I'm done carrying her shadow." He kissed the place where her name used to live in my chest. Good, he said. Because the rest of our life just started, and there's no room for ghosts. I watched the ribbon flutter to the ground, finally untied. Some family you're born with. Some you bury. Tonight, I chose which was which.